ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Friday, October 3rd, 2025. How you all doing? You ready for the weekend? Yankee fans could breathe a sigh of relief. And the Rats that were ready to come out of the hole, they're going to have to wait at least another series before they can attack, because the Yankees do advance against the Red Sox to become the first team in this iteration of the wild card era to lose the first game and actually win the series. There were two other chances before the Yankee game. That didn't happen. The Padres didn't win, and what was the other team? Padres didn't win, and the Guardians didn't win. But the Yankees did. The Yankees did, and they did it in an impressive fashion. We talked about it yesterday. 47 years ago yesterday, Bucky Dent became part of Forever. And on October 2nd, 2025, Cam Schlitler became part of Forever, turning in one of the great postseason performances that you will ever see. Now, it's not the best pitching performance I've ever seen live. It is not. Because I was in Seattle when Roger Clemens gave up one hit and struck out 15 against the Mariners in Game 4 of the ALCS. And why I say that performance was better, remember, that Mariner team was the best offense in baseball, and Clemens completely neutered them. They had no chance. And I remember over the years I've spoken to Alex Rodriguez about it. It was part of that Seattle team. He said he'd never seen a pitcher so dominant. Because the first pitch I think that Alex Rodriguez saw, he got a bow tie from Clemens, knocked him back, and then he's working the corner with that slider. He was just unbelievable. A splitty, fastball, he was great. But that doesn't take anything away from Cam Schlitler, because Game 4 of the ALCS in 2000 was not do or die. Yesterday was do or die. And Roger Clemens in 2000 was an established veteran who'd won many, many Cy Young Awards. Cam Schlitler was making his 15th big league start. 15th. And he absolutely dominated. He shut down the Red Sox. He made them look impotent offensively. And the Yankees live to play another day. And I said this before yesterday's game, and I said it before the series. You know, we always argue about if a season is a failure, and there are many Yankee fans that feel that last year, going to Game 5 of the World Series because they didn't win the World Series, that it was a failure. Now, maybe it's just a semantics game, but I thought it was a disappointment. I don't see how you could go to the World Series and say the season was a failure. But those that think that way, I'm not going to argue with you, simply because of the fact many of you were raised that way. George Steinbrenner, that was his mantra, picked up by Derek Jeter, since picked up by Aaron Judge. So you're just reacting to what you've been sold. And I get it, but I don't look at it that way. But if they had lost this series against an inferior Red Sox team, then the season would have been a colossal failure. Going from Game 5 of the World Series to losing in the wild card, it would have been a colossal failure. $320 million payroll, and you get knocked out by the Red Sox. Now, the Red Sox won that first game, and I believe they won that first game because Aaron Boone took out Max Fried with one out in the seventh inning. But he learned his lesson. He didn't take out Cam Schlitler. He kept him in there. 107 pitches. Cam Schlitler had never pitched that many innings. And he did. Never thrown that many pitches. And he let him do it. And I'm convinced, after watching Cam Schlitler pitch yesterday, he could have had a complete game. But I understand. Young arm. You don't want to destroy it. He's still got a lot of pitching to do if the Yankees achieve their goal of going to the World Series. So bring in Bednar, Bednar pitched the scoreless ninth, and the Yankees won 4-0 to beat the Red Sox 2-1. One bugaboo they kind of throw to the side is this. They've never been able to get through anybody that wasn't out of the Central other than, one-game wild card against the A's. All of their success in the Aaron Boone era has been against American League Central teams. They lost to the Rays. They lost to the Red Sox a couple of times. That's been their issue. They lost to the Astros. But they did beat the Red Sox. So that's one down. The Red Sox, who had dominated them during the regular season, one down. Now it's the Blue Jays. Yankees finished with the same record as the Blue Jays, 94 wins, the most wins of any team in the American League. But they had to play the Red Sox because the Yankees got slapped around by Toronto. Toronto's whole season was made, and the trajectory was pointing upward after they swept the Yankees in 4 games in Toronto. So the Blue Jays had the tiebreaker. Blue Jays are a good team. And they won the American League East because of the tiebreaker. Now, when you look at what makes the Blue Jays so difficult for the Yankees, the Blue Jays put the ball in play. They don't strike out. They put the ball in play. And they're about middle of the road when it comes to hitting home runs, but they put the ball in play. And the best way that I can compare them in sporting parlance would be they're like the basketball team that presses for 94 feet. They press you for 94 feet. And they make you make mistakes. And the Yankees made a lot of mistakes against the Blue Jays. And last year, they lost that World Series to the Dodgers because the Dodgers put the ball in play and made the Yankees make mistakes. But maybe the Yankees turned a corner. Because the 2 games against the Red Sox, Game 2 and Game 3, they played a really clean game. Not only clean, but they made terrific plays defensively. The McMahon play diving into the Red Sox dugout. Volpe made outstanding plays at shortstop, pivoting on the double play. He saved what could have been a disastrous inning when Jazz Chisholm threw him a ball low at second base, and he scooped it up and kept his foot on the bag to get the force. Volpe had himself a series. And just seeing the way this series unfolded, I wonder, and I'm not looking to pick a fight, but these things stick in my craw, they really do. When the Yankees were wallowing in their own waste, it seemed like, when they were going 20-31 over that 51-game stretch, which started with that 3-game sweep at Fenway Park. I saw so many people say that I'm done with this team. I'm not watching anymore. I'm sick of them. I don't care what they do the rest of the year. I can't take this. Are you watching now? Or should you not be allowed to watch? Because if you bailed, if I was the ship's captain, which I'm not, I wouldn't let you back on. You bailed. I know each and every one of you that bailed. I saw you on social media. Now, I know everybody's trying to make a lot of noise on social media to get attention and to say things that are definitive. I'm done with this team. But I also got phone calls on this fine show. That's it. I'm out. I hope they lose, so there's changes to the organization. Are you in now? Or are you embarrassed and you're not in? And along those same lines, everybody that wanted Anthony Volpe excommunicated, he had a pretty good series, didn't he? You didn't want him to start. They better not start him in the playoffs. I better see Jose Caballero playing. And I calmly told you that it was going to be Volpe. Because despite the fact that he had a horrible season, the Yankees still believe in him. And last postseason, he actually played quite well. Actually played quite well. How do you feel? The people that were screaming that, how do you feel now? I just want to get into the psyche of the fanatic. Because even when I was just a fan and I wasn't in the business, I don't think I ever fell into the heading of fanatic where I would say things, oh, my God, Sparky Lyle blew a save. He should never, ever pitch again for the Yankees. I was never that guy. But there are a lot of those people out there now. Maybe there were those people back then, but they didn't have the megaphone of social media or sports talk radio to say it. So the people that said, I'm out, I'm not watching anymore. You're watching now? The people that said that Volpe should be, some said let go. What do you think now? Because what I've been preaching over the years, and nobody seems to want to believe me, is that this is a long season. There are going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. There's going to be good weeks. There's going to be awful weeks. There's going to be good months. There's going to be awful months. But the good teams will eventually pull out of it. Now, across town, the Mets never pulled out of their tailspin. The Yankees did pull out of that 20-31 tailspin. In fact, from August 11th on, they had the best record in baseball. And they played a different brand of baseball. They just did. But after they lost game one, that same lunatic fringe was ready to give up on the season. And I didn't feel that great about things either because, you lose one and two's the magic number to go home. Did they have it in them? But they did have it in them. And it took a 24-year-old to set the record straight that the Yankees, and Red Sox fans don't want to hear this. And I also don't think Yankee fans should be hanging on the rim over winning the series because the Red Sox, quite frankly, they're not a good team. I mean, they're not a great team. They got to the playoffs, so they're a good team. You look at the lineup, they're not a great team. And, you could argue their best player was out, Roman Anthony. And after Garrett Crochet, anybody in their rotation scare you? Anybody. So they pitched a kid yesterday, and I thought he pitched well. But Yankee fans showed up. Yesterday was, from what I heard, I was in the studio at yesterday's stadium was deafening. You remember the short fly ball that Bellinger hit to left center field that started that 4-run rally? That dropped in because the Red Sox said it was so loud they couldn't even hear each other. That's a home field advantage. That's why I kept saying down the stretch, if you're not going to win the East, you better make sure that this series is played at Yankee Stadium and not at Fenway Park. And they did what they had to do. They made sure it was played at Yankee Stadium, and that played a role. But the story of yesterday is Cam Schlitler. To perform like that on the biggest stage, I did tell you yesterday, I said on the pregame show on Yes, if he failed yesterday, it wasn't going to be because the moment was too big for him. Things were not going to get out of control and race in his mind. He's a flatline guy. He has a very slow heartbeat. When you talk to him in the clubhouse, you talk to him in the dugout before a game, very soft-spoken. He's not going to be a guy that's going to get too high or too low. So if he's going to fail, he's going to fail because he didn't have good stuff or he didn't have good command. And that stuff and that command was not going to be because he got too nervous. It's not him. So with 8 brilliant innings, he moves the Yankees into the next round, and he moves himself into the pantheon of all-time moments in Yankee history. But I love the people who say, well, this is the greatest performance in Yankee history. Really? Don Larson would like to have a word with you. He pitched a perfect game in the World Series. Clemens might want to have a word with you. He shut down one of the great offenses of all time to 1 hit and 15 strikeouts in Seattle on the road. Not taking anything away from Schlitler. It was one of the best performances, but those that are so young that have not read the history books or lived it, you can't say it's the greatest performance ever. I know it was an elimination game, but I'd say a World Series perfect game, probably a bigger deal. Game 4 of the ALCS, which is the series before the World Series, 15 strikeouts, 1 hit on the road against one of the great offenses that ever put together. Griffey, Edgar Martinez, Alex Rodriguez. Kind of a better performance. But Schlitler was amazing. Amazing. Now, consider this. He had something against him, is that the Red Sox had one of the best batting averages of any team on velocity, 97 or up. They had, if not the best batting average, in the top 3. And he said, yeah, you haven't seen my 97 or up. And just blew it by them. It was a statement. And for the Yankee organization, they had to feel great. Why? You developed him. You picked him in the 7th round out of Northeastern. That's not a high draft pick. That's not Paul Skeens. That's not Kerry Wood, who you got in the 1st round at the top of the 1st round. No. That's a 7th round pick that when you selected him, he threw 91 miles an hour. You developed this. The Yankee developmental department deserves a lot of credit. And for those that keep chirping this false narrative that the Yankees don't produce talent out of their system, especially pitching, you're wrong. And I've been saying this for months. They produced Luis Severino. They produced Clark Schmidt. They produced Luis Heel. He wasn't signed by them, but he came up through their system after they acquired him from the Marlins. He was in their system for a while. They produced Cam Schlitler. And on the offensive side, that same system that's always derided produced a multiple MVP and the American League home run record holder, Aaron Judge. Ben Rice produced. Austin Wells produced. Anthony Volpe produced. And all those players that they got in trades, they were acquired using people that were produced through the system. So I think that's a narrative that has to go to bed for a while. Because people don't equate, we got this guy, we got Jazz Chisholm because we traded them a catcher that we produced. But people don't want to see that lineage. They want to see it in a pinstripe uniform. And last night they did. They built this guy up from a guy who threw 91.7 miles an hour to a guy that was throwing 101 yesterday on some pitches. It was a scintillating performance. 8 innings, 12 strikeouts, no walks. Nobody had ever pitched 8 innings, struck out 12 or more, and didn't walk a batter in the history of the postseason. Not just Yankee history, the history of the postseason. Through 107 pitches, he was amazing. He calmed the fears of Yankee fans who thought the season would be over quickly. He frustrated a subset of Met fans that were ready to jump in and go, oh, why don't you join us in Cancun? It only took 3 more days. Well, you can't say that now because now on to the ALDS. Tomorrow it all begins again, a 4 o'clock start against the Blue Jays. And there is some negativity to getting into the postseason as a wild card and to having to play 3 games in a row without a day off. The Blue Jays sat back. They have their pitching ready. And the Yankees, well, we'll find out today who they're going to start. It's between Luis Heel and Will Warren. I probably would go with Warren, but I think they're going to go with Heel. So you don't have your pitching ready after playing this, and your bullpen's exhausted after playing this. That's another thing that Schlitler did. By giving them 8 innings, all those guys that had pitched 2 days in a row, Williams, Cruz, you gave them days off. You gave them a day off. Now, Bednar has pitched all 3 games. He'll get tomorrow or today off, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. That's the value of having a starter that gives you length. Be honest, everybody. When you started watching that game, what was your best-case scenario for Schlitler? I'll tell you what mine was. 6 innings, turning it over to the bullpen to get 9 outs. My worst case was he'd get knocked out in the 3rd or 4th inning, and you'd have to play around and bring in Will Warren or Paul Blackburn, Mark Leiter Jr. You'd have to fill all those outs. You'd have to fill all of those outs. He did so much better than anybody could have imagined, including Matt Blake and Aaron Boone. He saved the season. Now, on the Red Sox side, I give them a little bit of a break. And maybe they don't want to hear this. That was not a great Red Sox team. Tristan Cass is supposed to be the first baseman. Horrific injury. He's out. They traded Devers, and that was their choice. Giolito was supposed to start yesterday's game. He didn't because of an elbow issue. They don't have a deep starting staff. They don't hit a lot of home runs because all of their power is not there. They didn't have Roman Anthony. Yankees had to beat the Red Sox. Yankees are better than the Red Sox. They are. I know the Red Sox beat them during the regular season, but it's when you play teams. Well, when the Yankees had a win in the gauntlet, you know what? They won a series against Toronto, and they won a series against the Red Sox. So it showed they were up for it. It showed they were up for it. I will tell you, a guy I respect quite a bit, and I like him too, is Alex Cora. The way he managed Game 2, with an urgency as if there was no tomorrow, when there was definitely a tomorrow. There was no tomorrow for the Yankees. There was a tomorrow for him and the Red Sox. He managed Game 2 like he knew that they would have problems with Schlitler. That's why I took out Bayo after 2 1/3 innings, which he rarely does. And when I say rarely, look how long he stayed with Early yesterday. I don't think Early got hit that hard. His defense betrayed him. Some ground balls found holes. Yankees didn't pound the ball, but those 4 runs were held up by great pitching by Schlitler. I think Cora knew in his heart he had to win Game 2. He didn't want to face a Game 3 at a cacophonous Yankee Stadium, and maybe what they saw on tape made them think, you know what, this guy Schlitler is going to be a load. We can't do it. We're going to have a hard time against this guy. Because why would you manage Game 2 like that if you had no fear about Game 3? He stayed with Early longer than he stayed with Bayo, who is an established starter. And I think he said it best when he said after the game, we had to be perfect because Schlitler was perfect. Now, he wasn't perfect in the sense like Don Larson, but pretty darn close to the perfect performance, a performance that will be talked about for decades to come. And if the Yankees end up winning a World Series this year, we're going to point to that game and go, that was the starting point. And it was such an impressive performance that I was texting my son. I said, please remember this. Try to remember as much. He's 10 years old. Try to remember as much of this as you can. And he said, why? I said, because when you're 50 years old, they'll be talking about this game. Remember when this happened. And when you're 50 years old, 40 years from now, and 64-year-old Cam Schlitler comes out of the dugout at Old Timers Day, you're going to want to remember this game. And my son did something smarter than I would do. He went into his iPad and he wrote it all in notes. And then he left himself a reminder to look at it again in 10 years when he's 20. Kind of gave me chills thinking about that. But that's what we saw yesterday. Young kids will talk about that. Older people will say, wow, what a performance, what a throwback, 8 innings. When he came out to start the 8th inning, the roar from the crowd was deafening. Because the people at the ballpark, almost 49,000, they realized what they were seeing. They were seeing a throwback performance, a power pitcher mowing down a lineup and doing it in a surgical way, without screaming, without the histrionics. He did what had to be done. He stepped up in a big moment. Always use that phrase. It's a religious phrase. A child shall lead them. He did last night. The offense didn't do that much. They did just enough. Cam Schlitler did more than enough. That was a performance for the ages. I hope a Yankee fan can enjoy it and enjoy the journey of getting to the next round, because that is something that we'll be talking about for a long time. That's how special that was. I'm glad I was able to see it, and I hope that you feel the same way. If you're a Red Sox fan, you're angry. This guy grew up as a Red Sox fan. The Red Sox scouting department did not see what the Yankee scouting department saw. The Yankees took him. The Red Sox didn't. So Red Sox fans who were somewhat hanging on the rim after Game 1, very quiet today. And then the Met fans who were ready to pounce. I got a lot of those messages on social media. Oh, you lasted 2 more games than us. Well, no. Yankees going to last a little longer than that. They're going to last a little longer than that. I want to hear from you because you know the deal. You're the co-host. Today it's the two of us. I didn't want to book a lot of guests. I just wanted to talk with you about what was a very special sports moment in the Bronx yesterday. Hey, ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel has got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boosting with the Boys, and it's giving everyone a college football profit boost every single week. So here's how it works. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/K to download the app, check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer, and get in on the action. 21 plus and physically present in New York, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Friday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. The Yankees are headed to the ALDS.
And they've won this Wild Card series, advancing to the Division Series. They'll play the Blue Jays behind a phenomenal performance. Cam Schlitler dealing for the Yankees.
How confident are you in them going forward? And what will Jackson Dart do for an encore this weekend against the Saints? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
You know so much about who you are. But do you know what makes your body your body? With over 100 lab tests and insights, Function can help you know the truth. Because you know you're made of grit, wit, and a good heart. But just how healthy is that heart? You know you're made up of all the places you've called home. You know you're made of your mom's sarcasm. And now you can find out if you have her thyroid too. You know you're made of college all-nighters and 30s early-nighters, but those still don't explain your sleep issues. You know that you're made up of good meals with even better conversation. But are you actually absorbing those nutrients? A Function membership gives you a comprehensive health check with results tracked over time. Find out what you're made of at functionhealth.com.
D'Agostino & Associates is a legacy firm, and I'm proud to be a part of that legacy. I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and like my father, I fight to get justice for the injured.
The hustle and grit of these streets shaped me. I'm John D'Agostino, and from the concrete to the courtroom, I built this injury firm 35 years ago to get accident victims justice. So call my team first, 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
You want justice? Think Jenna D'Agostino. Think D'Agostino & Associates. Justice isn't just a word. For us, it's a way of life. It's having compassion for your struggle and getting you paid for your pain. Now that's justice. D'Agostino & Associates means being there for the injured.
Seriously injured? Call my team first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back.
Your fantasy roster is set. The smack talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Rich Eisen here for Sonos, the speakers that bring every game to life in my own house. With studio quality sound, Sonos makes you feel like you're right there in the stadium. Whether you're cheering on your team, binging your favorite show, or listening to the hottest songs, Sonos fills every room with incredible sound. Setup is easy. Just plug in, open the Sonos app, and you're ready to go. Want stadium quality sound at home just like me? Because I love Sonos. You will too. Explore soundbars, speakers, and more at Sonos.com. Sonos. They look as good as they sound.
Welcome back to the show. A little bit later on the show, it's two-pack for sure when I make my NFL picks, and I don't want to brag, but last two weeks 4-0, so it's like I'm giving away money here. Last 2 weeks 4-0. Think about that. That's brilliant, is what that is. Cam Schlitler was brilliant. Now the Yankees will play the Blue Jays. Best of 5 starting on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday's games will be at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. And then Monday's an off day. Back to Yankee Stadium Tuesday and Wednesday. Don't know the times on that yet. Then Thursday's an off day. And then Friday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday's an off day. And then Friday would be Game 5 back in Toronto. And the way it works with all the days off, Max Fried will start Game 2, and then he will start Game 5 if necessary. Schlitler would start Game 4. Rodon will start Game 3. Don't know who's starting Game 1 at this point. I'm sure the workout will take place shortly, and Aaron Boone will announce it. But at this point, we do not have an announcement on who will start. It's going to be Heel or Warren. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Billy in the truck. Billy, start it off.
Oh, bad leadoff. I like it.
There you go.
What a game! Like, Schlitler was outstanding. What a crazy catch by McMahon. And like you said before, you couldn't predict a better outcome for what Schlitler did. Like, nobody, it saved the bullpen, all that stuff. He had absolute ice in his veins. Like, I don't even think I saw him fist pump. He had, there's no emotion out there. No emotion. And, it really does look different than last year. And maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I know it's only been 3 games, but he only hit 2 home runs in the whole series. It's not, it's not, I guess, what they built the team for. But everyone's contributing. Everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And I really like our chances against the Blue Jays. I like our chances to hold on. I'm here for it.
Well, I'm not saying that it's as easy a course as it was last year with the Central Division teams, but if you're a Yankee fan, you can say, why not the Yankees? Why not the Yankees? Why can't they go to the World Series again? I mean, the best scenario to me would be if the Tigers knock off Seattle, because I think the Tigers would be an easier mark. Seattle will be tough. The trip, the travel, the great starting pitching. They've got a pretty good offense as well. Detroit's, a scrappy little team, but they just got by the Guardians. 1-800-919-3776. Timothy in South Carolina. Timothy.
Hey, Michael. How's it going? A couple weeks back said I wanted to focus on the positives and the starting pitching, and look where we've gotten since then. 8-0 to finish out the season. What a performance last night from Cam Schlitler. And feeling really good. I think that was awesome. Now I've got a couple questions going into the next series. First of all, everyone who wants to get on Boone about starting this guy, starting that guy, maybe it's a good thing we have the depth. McMahon comes in and gets that awesome catch. Rosario comes in and he gets the hit off the lefty early last night and an RBI. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we don't have to get on Boone for every little decision. Now, I agree Jazz has got to start Game 1. I mean, he's a star 30-30 player. He's got to start.
He'll start because Kevin Gausman's starting Game 1 for the Blue Jays.
Right.
I don't think you're going to see Jazz sit the rest of the postseason.
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, Jazz should have been. I mean, there were mistakes made in Game 1. Sitting Jazz Chisholm was one of them. Taking Max Fried out was one of them. And I know we're going to get a lot of Boone love today. I get it. But if he makes a mistake that doesn't, if he makes a move that doesn't play and it doesn't work out on Saturday, I'm sure you'll be all over again because you don't like him. You think that all the issues are that he's not good enough. You never say the issues are that the players aren't good enough. Now, sometimes the issues are his because I told you, taking out Fried when he did was a massive mistake. Almost cost him the series. Not starting Jazz was a massive mistake. But I've also said that what they did at the trade deadline made the team better. Because when the trade deadline came around, the Yankees were an incomplete team. Their bench was a joke. There was no moves for Boone to make. But acquiring Rosario and Caballero made the bench a really usable bench. Slater, same thing. Now you can go lefty-righty. They bring in a lefty. You could bring a guy like Rosario and Caballero off the bench. Rosario's a great hitter against left-handed pitching. Goldschmidt didn't start yesterday. Came off the bench, got a hit against Chapman in the 8th inning. It's a usable bench now. Now, there were some failures at the trade deadline. Doval certainly is not a usable pitcher at this point. Bird is literally not a usable pitcher because finished the season in the minors. And David Bednar's your closer. So I'd say the trade deadline was pretty good for Brian Cashman and company. Gordon in Buffalo. Gordon.
The Bellinger spot. I like it, Michael. All right. So I've called you before the gauntlet, and I told you I didn't think Boone was worth it. And I called you at the end of the gauntlet and said they did a great job. He's got my support the whole way. Game 1, almost knocked that back a lot. I'll be very honest with you. Mm-hmm. But I guess this series is more so to, and the job isn't done yet, but this series is more so to give Aaron Boone his flowers outside of, obviously, the Fried mistake and the Chisholm, Rice, and McMahon mistakes in Game 1. But I think, more so than anything, my biggest problem with him has been he's managed more so off of analytics, more so the natural feel of the game. The last 2 games was more natural feel because the numbers would have told you against some of the pitchers they had up, don't have Jazz in. The analytics and everything probably told them, the department probably told them Schlitler wasn't going to do as well for you that night. You should probably plan for to use your bullpen a little bit more in that series. And Aaron Boone gets a solid B+ from me in this series, A- maybe even, because in this specific series, he brought the Yankees to victory in a series that they easily could have lost. So
but Gordon, I find it funny where you're going. So he's smart now because Schlitler pitched a great game. I keep saying it. Maybe it's the players. Now, taking out Fried when he did, that's on Boone. But if he took out Fried with 1 out in the 7th inning and Weaver actually did his job, we wouldn't have said a word that Boone did anything wrong. And the analytics don't tell him to sit Jazz Chisholm against lefties. The lefties that the early is not Crochet. Crochet is unbelievable. Crochet is, one of the best players, if not the best player that the Red Sox have. Sometimes it's the players. Yeah, the analytics would say you don't keep a guy in 3rd time through the order. But then your eyes do say this guy's dealing and the Red Sox can't touch him, so you just ride the wave. And maybe he did take a chance because if Schlitler ended up giving up, a couple of home runs in the 8th inning, I'm sure Boone would have asked why you kept him out there. Well, he would have been asked that. But when you say, Boone goes by that's the rules of the job. So you expect him to go rogue? And that would get him fired. And then the next guy you bring in would also be expected to follow the numbers. Boone has some maneuverability. That's why Boone's not without blame when things don't go well. But the amount of blame that Yankee fans want to put on Boone when the whole thing is collaborative. I keep saying it, collaborative. Let's go to David on the east side. David.
Michael, I'll be brief, but I have 3 quick questions that I want your thoughts on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so first, if you start Warren game one, would you put Heel in the bullpen maybe as a 2-inning guy?
If I start Warren, David, I don't even know if I'd put Heel on the roster. I don't think Heel translates to the bullpen.
All right, agree to disagree. I think we might need a 2-inning guy, give it a shot. Well,
that would be
given the
Blackburn.
bullpen struggles. Maybe, but he struggled too. Anyway, second question. If you're in a position to choose, do you want Schlitler or Rodon pitching twice in a 7-game series?
Probably Schlitler.
I think so too, and that may be a tough choice. So hopefully Rodon wouldn't take it personally if that was Boone's choice. All right, third question. Small sample size, but Aaron Judge is batting .364 this postseason with a .784 OPS. Do you think that's a coincidence, or is he changing his playoffs approach, maybe sacrificing a bit of power for average?
No, I don't think he's. I think he just came in hot. He had an unbelievable September to win the batting title and maybe win the MVP. I think it's just. I mean, everybody forgets in Game 5 when he dropped the ball in the 5th inning in center field, he had 2 doubles and a couple of walks. So, yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes it's going to be there, sometimes it's not. So, yeah, he had the 4 singles. He had the RBI. One of them should have been an E7. I'm being brutally honest. Durant has to make that catch. But he hit the ball hard. And the home runs come when the home runs come. He's going to take what's given to him. I don't think, if that's his approach, well, I'm just going to get singles. Well, that's not the proper approach. The Yankees are going to win a championship if they hit a lot of home runs. That's just the way it is. They have to hit home runs. They're going to have to hit home runs against Toronto. You're not going to get the type of performance that Schlitler gave you all the time, even from Max Fried. So, yeah, you're going to need to hit home runs. I don't want Judge to say, make a conscious decision, okay, I'm going to end up being a singles hitter. No. It's not the way it works. I just think that he took what the pitchers gave him and drove the ball where it was pitched. But he's still trying to hit home runs. He hit a lot of fly balls, so that's his job. But he's not a home run hitter who's trying to hit home runs. He's trying to hit the ball hard. He's so strong that the ball goes out. Hey, Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 4 p.m. tomorrow, Yankees are in Toronto for Game 1 of the ALDS against the Blue Jays. You can listen to all the play-by-play action right here on ESPN New York and on the Yes Network. 3 o'clock is the pregame show, and then we'll have a postgame show for 90 minutes following the final pitch of the game. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glass up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. What a day. What a day. What a day to talk about good things, right? Not bad things, not failures, good things. Cam Schlitler, that was fun to watch. That was absolutely fun to watch. We'll continue the discussion as we roll along here on the show, so stay with us. But first, I want to remind you, getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery, it's what they do. Only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery of mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Okay, girls, ready to go?
Yeah! Mom, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? Me too, Mommy.
You want a snack?
Yeah.
Got it?
Children learn from our behaviors.
Mommy, can you open this,
All right,
please?
hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here.
Thank you.
They learn what is okay from the adults they see.
Mommy, are you on your phone?
If you're a distracted driver, chances are they will be too. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is an Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same day and next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. J. Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
John Ryan.
Yeah, Dad.
I think I came up with a killer slogan for our law firm. D'Agostino and Associates, bite back.
Bite back?
Yeah. When someone hurts you, you bite back. We'll be the law firm that bites back.
Dad, that's brilliant. Accident victims, call D'Agostino and Associates and bite back. Hey, we could even put a big vicious dog on billboards everywhere.
Yeah, and Rottweilers on buses.
Hey, how about a toll-free number?
What are you thinking?
You know, like 1-800-BITE-BACK.
1-800-BITE-BACK. That's brilliant.
But what if people hear fight back?
Easy. I'll spell it out for them, like 1-800-BITE, back. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
Love it. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
All this talk about biting back got me hungry.
Me too. Want to grab lunch?
Sure. Hey, how about a jingle?
You mean like D'Agostino, law, bite back?
Hey, it's Kirk Herbstreit. On game day, great prep makes all the difference. Same goes for your pizza. That's why I go with Frigidaire Stone-Baked Pizza Oven. Fresh pizzas go from dough to done in just 2 minutes.
Whether you're throwing a party or squeezing in dinner between plays, this oven delivers hot, crispy, restaurant-quality pizza right from your kitchen. Only from Frigidaire. Game-ready pizza. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team.
Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Fastest 2 hours in sports talk. So there's a guy who calls in, and you know he's kind of an irritant, which he tries to be. He's kind of a jerk, which I think he is. But he humors me because he tries so hard to be a jerk, and was obviously not hugged by his parents. But he sends this out on social media. Just so I have this correct, I'll do it in his voice. The Dodgers beat the Reds and should not have even celebrated it. A Yankee pitcher beats a, quote, a good, not great Boston team, and it's a game for the ages. LOL. You absolutely kill me. I do appreciate the laughs. this is how silly you are, Bernie. David Cohn pitched a perfect game against a so-so Montreal Expo team. Still a game for the ages. You could be pitching against anybody. These are Major League Baseball players. You pitched an elimination game on the biggest stage in the world. Yeah, it's a game for the ages. If you don't understand that, maybe you should stop following sports if you don't get it. Now, I am not somebody who thinks that teams should celebrate so wildly after clinching a wild card or a division and then winning the wild card. I think it's silly, but I understand why they do it. It's sponsored, by the way. You know, if you ever see those clubhouse celebrations, the Budweiser signs are all over. So Major League Baseball is making money off of it. So nobody's going to tell them not to do it. It's not done in any other sport. Any other sport. And I think it's overdone. But when you compare the Yankees beating their arch rivals who slapped them around all year to the Dodgers beating essentially a team that's not even ready to be in the postseason, not even close to being ready, that won 83 games and only got in because the Mets are so terrible, and you think that they should have celebrated like they won a World Series, then you be you and I'll be me. And again, I think you're a smarter guy than some of the stuff that you put out there, but you're obviously a really awful troll, because if you're going to troll, at least have something that you could debate. You can pitch a game against a less than great team, and if you pitch a great game, it could be a game for the ages, because the Red Sox were in the playoffs with the team that they had. So that's one of the best teams that the American League had to offer, but it wasn't a great team. It's a good team, not a great team. But what Cam Schlitler did was a game for the ages. So if you find that funny and you're tuning in for the laughs, I've told you this before, Bernie, I really do. You must be a sadist. Don't listen. I invite you to go listen to something else. There's a lot of things. If you're in New York, you could listen to FAN. If you have Sirius XM, you can listen to any number of sports talk shows. Don't listen. If you find my opinion so objectionable, go away. In fact, you know what, Ray? Ray's my producer. Because Bernie is such an ass, okay? He doesn't get to call in anymore. Because he finds it so laughable, he doesn't get to call. Ray, you got that? No more. Bernie doesn't get to call in anymore. I'll say it right out loud. Not because I can't answer his questions, because they're so not based in reality, and they're silly, and they're obviously troll jobs. So, Bernie, you're free to listen to other shows. Really. Go listen to Brandon and Sal. Go. See ya. You won't be missed. We have plenty of listeners, plenty of viewers on YouTube. But if you don't get that a guy pitches a game for the ages in an elimination game in front of 49,000 people and the whole baseball world watching, I don't care if you're not facing the 27 Yankees. It's still a game for the ages. And that you don't get that, you don't deserve to listen anymore. You certainly don't deserve to talk with me. So you will not get that opportunity anymore. The only way you will is if you fake and say you're somebody else, which I wouldn't put past you, because that's what you're all about. Got it? Good. Jim in Connecticut. Jim.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. Hey, I'm not going to reiterate all the points made in favor of Boone because they've been talked about with previous callers. But, the way I break down a game, there's you've got the pregame strategy, which is the manager, coaches, front office. You've got the in-game tactical decisions made by Boone, and then you've got the player execution. And last night, Boone made some great decisions, but the players executed. It was Volpe in the field, Volpe hitting the right, McMahon with the catch, and Schlitler on the mound. They executed, and that's the difference between Game 1 and Game 3. But just a quick question for you. Historically, the McMahon play, I would rank in Yankee postseason history, at least, going back at least until, the 70s. Forget about, before that. Maybe the Jeter flip play was a better postseason play. It was obviously at a very pivotal point in the game, but I can't think of any other defensive plays that rank with the McMahon catch last night.
Well, I mean, it's certainly hard for me to come up with. I mean, it was obviously a tremendous play, but there was nobody on base, and it was in the eighth inning. You were leading 4-0. It's a huge, huge play. But I mean, I'll have to think about it. But the bottom line is, yeah, it's a tremendous play. I don't know if I'll put it in the best in postseason history. I mean, I didn't see the games in the 50s or the 30s or the 20s. There might have been great plays there, too. It was a terrific play. And I did mention this on the postgame, too. Baseball's changed so much, you know, like the players get along. There's not that hatred among players anymore. They're all in the same union. They're all pulling the rope in the same direction. You can style and embarrass a pitcher now. A pitcher can embarrass a batter if he strikes him out, and there doesn't seem to be any retribution. But we still continue with the Neanderthal way that a guy's flying into the dugout, nobody's going to protect him. No, nobody's going to step in and grab him as he's flipping over the dugout railing. Nobody. That's okay. We continue to be Neanderthals when it comes to that. What if he broke his neck? Now, I give Greg Weissert credit because he's a Fordham guy. He's a human being. He did reach in at the last moment to try to lift him up. But as he was crashing into the dugout, nobody moved because that's old-time baseball. So we make up rules as we go along. Things that weren't accepted in the 60s or the 70s, they're accepted now. But that remains. Let a guy break his skull, maybe paralyze himself, because we can't help him. He's making a play against us. It's a joke. It's a joke. Now, if all the other things remain, then I get it. That's part of hard-nosed baseball. We can't block home plate anymore. We can't take out a second baseman or a shortstop on a double play. We can't do any of that. But we can let a guy go head first into a dugout against concrete steps. That we can do. Make it make sense for me, people. Please make it make sense. Because to me, it is so silly and so barbaric. Fortunately, the guy didn't get hurt. But that's not the thing you do. You can't help me. It could hurt the team. Could hurt the team. So you protect catchers because of Buster Posey getting his leg broken, but you don't protect defenseless fielders who are giving their all to make a catch in the dugout. How's that make sense? Am I wrong? And I'm not trying to soften the game. I'm not. I wish the other stuff was allowed still. Catchers should be allowed to block home plate. You should be allowed to break up a double play by sliding hard into the shortstop or second baseman. You should. But that's been taken away, but this barbaric thing is not. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't think I am. Hey, if you don't know by now, you can actually watch the show. Go to the ESPN New York app, click on the YouTube tile, and subscribe. It's free. And you can watch the show. You can watch this show. You can watch Don Hahn and Rosenberg before me. You could watch Barton Carlin, and then DiPietro and Rothenberg. All there for you visually. So not only do you get to hear our voices, but you get to see what's going on. You could see our facial expressions. You could see I'm wearing a Bronx T-shirt. It says the Bronx. It's really a Fordham T-shirt, but that's not T-shirt. It's a hoodie. These are things that it makes the whole experience more complete. And again, it's free. YouTube, subscribe, ESPN New York page, and get to enjoy me in all my glory. 1-800-919-3776. We'll continue. We'll have the two-pack for sure NFL picks later on in the show. We continue to talk Yankees 4, Red Sox nothing, right here on ESPN New York.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. and he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SamwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
I've never seen anything like it. It looked like I was watching the Three Stooges. Larry, Curly, Moe was just like running to each other.
So who is that on? Is it on everybody?
It's on everybody, but it's got to be on Wilkes. We either fix it or we throw it out. That's what Rex used to say. Listen, if we can't execute this, we'll play one damn defense. But we'll play it efficiently, and we'll be on the same page, and we'll play fast.
Bart Scott, Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Welcome back to the show. Yankees are playing the Blue Jays in the ALDS and the other DS in the American League. The Mariners against the Tigers. In the National League, two really good series. You got the Phillies against the Dodgers, and then you have Milwaukee against Chicago. And there is a sidebar there that almost supersedes winning the series, in that Craig Counsell, who, a son of Milwaukee, who left Milwaukee when they wanted him back to take the Cubs' money, comes back with the Cubs after finishing second to Pat Murphy and the Brewers in the regular season. So there's going to be a lot of emotion there, and that series will start in Milwaukee. And I bet you that Craig Counsell is going to get booed very, very loudly. So I'll make my picks. I think the Phillies will beat the Dodgers. I think that Milwaukee will beat the Cubs. I think that the Yankees will beat the Blue Jays. And I believe that Seattle will beat Detroit. Now, I was 2 for 2 in the 4 wild card series, so we'll see how I do in this one. Again, I'll take the Phillies, I'll take Milwaukee, I'll take the Yankees, and I will take Seattle in those best of fives. So before we get back to talking about the Yankees and Cam Schlittler's amazing performance, that puts him in Yankee lore. When you're in Yankee lore, you've really reached the status because there's so many great things that have happened, so many postseason moments that have happened that, it's stunning that now he's going to be mentioned in that breath. He just is. Is it Reggie's 3 home runs in the World Series? Of course not, because this is in a lesser series. This is in the World Series. Quick aside, I can't stand it. Can't stand it when you're watching a nationally televised game and it says that Giancarlo Stanton is closing in, or he might even be there, 18 home runs. He's matching Mickey Mantle in Yankee postseason history. I mean, are we this lazy? Are we this lazy, everybody? Mickey Mantle's 18 home runs in the postseason all came in the World Series. Aren't there different levels of home runs? You're going to compare Bernie's 18 with Mickey's 18? A home run in the World Series is different than a home run in the division series or in a championship series. Can't we somehow make a delineation? World Series home runs, put that in there. But instead, we don't delineate. We try to make it seem like it's the same. It's not the same. 18 World Series home runs, different than 18 home runs in the division series. It just is. But that's a pet peeve of mine. Like just putting all postseason stats under the same umbrella. No. World Series stats are different. The pressure is the highest. It's the biggest stage. You're actually playing for a championship. Now let me deviate away from teams that are in the playoffs and concentrate on a team that's not in the playoffs. And that's the New York Mets. I want to tell you about the hypocrisy in sports. So Jeff Passan broke this story right before we went on the air that the Mets are pretty much rearranging their coaching staff. Jeremy Hefner, the pitching coach, last year, genius. He's a genius. Head of the pitching lab. Genius. Jeremy Hefner fired. The hitting coaches, Jeremy Barnes, Eric Chavez, fired. John Gibbons, the veteran bench coach, he's not coming back now. He has texted, I believe, John Heyman of the New York Post that he wasn't fired. He quit. He still wants to remain in baseball. He just felt that they needed a new voice for Mendoza. So let's think about this. You're getting rid of hardworking coaches, right? Because your recipe for this team didn't work. Because you brought in bargain basement pitchers that you expected Jeremy Hefner to sprinkle pixie dust on and turn them into great pitchers. Because he did it in 1 year. Now you expect him to do it every year where you're going cheap rather than going out and trying to get a Max Fried or a Corbin Burns or actually trade some of your vaunted young talent for a great pitcher like Garrett Crochet, which you had an opportunity. You didn't want to give up young players. You didn't want to give up Jet Williams, all of that, whatever the case may be. You didn't want to give up Sproat. You didn't want to give them up. You don't think Garrett Crochet, if he's pitching for the Mets are playing now rather than sitting at home? You don't think that. I do. So the Red Sox swallowed hard, and they traded a lot of their big-time prospects, including Kyle Teal, who's a really highly thought-of catching prospect. You think they wanted to get rid of him? No. But when you're going to get Garrett Crochet, you're going to have to give up something. So my point about all this is, isn't this somewhat hypocritical? Isn't it hypocritical of the Met front office, of David Stearns? You're going to get rid of all of these guys, hardworking guys that were part of the success of the year before. And you're going to blame them because you brought in Frankie Montas. Because you thought, Manaea is going to be great for the next 3 years. You brought him back. How did Jeremy Hefner do converting Clay Holmes from a pretty much career-long reliever, short reliever, into a pitcher that did a good job for the Mets? You're going to blame Jeremy Hefner that Kodai Senga is the most fragile pitcher in baseball and everything has to be perfectly right in his ecosystem for him to compete, that's Jeremy Hefner's fault? It's Jeremy Hefner's fault that Cannon got hurt? Hypocrisy. And that's why I always say, well, people say, well, would Aaron Boone get fired if they had lost to the Red Sox? And I go, why? If it's as collaborative as I think, and no, well, your sauce isn't working. Why is he the one who's going to get blamed? He's just executing the plan. Does he have the right to deviate a little bit? Sure he does. He better be right. Brian Cashman said it on the show like 5 years ago. Can Aaron Boone manage by his gut? He better be right. If not, he's going to be called on the carpet and explain why he did it. That's kind of pressure these guys are working under. So the only way that you would fire an Aaron Boone is if he did go rogue and did go from his gut and it didn't work all the time. Then they would fire him. But as long as it's collaborative, why would they get rid of him? So Jeremy Hefner and the hitting coaches are just trying to work with the players that you got. Was it Jeremy Barnes and Eric Chavez's fault that the guys you acquired at the trade deadline weren't good? That Cedric Mullins didn't hit all year with the Orioles, and you expect him to hit this year after you got him? Does Jeremy Barnes and Eric Chavez get any credit for the great season that Juan Soto had and that Pete Alonso had? This not a good look. Not a good look for the Mets. Not a good look for a guy I really like, Mendoza. Now, I don't know how much say he has on the coaches, whether or not he wanted them gone. And I will tell you this, if John Gibbons was not fired, and he said he wasn't, he's an honest guy. If he was not fired and just stepped away, he doesn't like the way it smells there. He doesn't want any part of it. You know, you talk about heavily analytic Yankees. Mets are just as heavily analytic, if not more so. And you want to know why? Because Steve Cohen made his fortune, his billions, based on analytics of the stock market. He's a very analytic guy. Now, they've hired a lot of an analytic staff, and you're going to place it on these hardworking coaches. Okay, I'll play along. That's why you didn't make the playoffs. That's why you collapsed from June 12th on. That's why. It's their fault. It's their fault. I bet you they bring in some geniuses that never played in baseball before that are just going to sell the whole analytic aspect, sell the numbers to the players. You got a little analytic revolution happening in Flushing, my friends. Blaming it on the coaches when you got them bad players. You got Jeremy Hefner bad pitchers. This guy was lauded around baseball. His pitching lab. Now it's his fault. His fault that you got him terrible bullpen pitchers. His fault that Ryan Helsley didn't pitch well. It's his fault. Okay. I'll play along. 1-800-919-3776. Gino in the Bronx. Gino.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, man?
So I'm a Sox fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I agree with your statement when you said the Red Sox aren't a great team. Every game I went in, I said, where are the runs coming from? Right?
Yeah, they don't hit home runs.
No, they hit 100 less home runs, but whatever. They were a scrappy team. They played great at the All-Star break. All-Star break hit. They never seemed to get that back. But anyway, they weren't a great offense, but the Yankees scored 9 runs. The Red Sox scored 6.
Yep.
Think of all the things that had to go right for the Yankees. Duran dropping the ball. Rafaela can't get a bunt down, which is a dumb play anyway. You can't not ask these guys to bunt all year and then have them bunt in the biggest game of the year. But anyway,
Eaton not scoring on the ball that got away from Rice.
That's right. A little leaguer knows to keep running, right? You assume the hit, the ball is through, and you're trying to score. So, and then Jazz gets it. They get the count just happens to go full. He's running on a pitch. Ball hits the perfect spot in that corner that jets out, right? And we make a good throw, but he beat it by a step. So look at all the things, and then he didn't get hit hard yesterday. He just a ball that absolutely has to be caught, and then a couple seeing eye singles and an error. So, no, they weren't great, and hopefully next year they'll be better. You know, hope they go in
and
for
also,
Alonso.
Gino, you have to give
yeah.
them a little bit of a break. Their best player was out. I mean, if they had Roman
Yeah, I
Anthony,
know,
it'd be a different. It would be a
Anthony
different series.
Yeah, but again, their lineup, I don't know. It's feast or famine. Roman would have definitely helped. How many more runs they would have? I mean, look, in Game 2 they needed 2 more. I mean, so maybe, right? But you know, all in all, I'm happy. I'm happy they traded Devers. He was a cancer in the locker room. Team seems to enjoy each other. They're young, up and coming. You know, I mean, so they're definitely on the right track.
Gino, I have to ask you something.
Yeah.
How are you in the Bronx? How did you become a Red Sox fan? I'm curious.
All right, so I got 4 boys.
Right.
4 boys. I was a pretty good athlete back in the day, and after I got done playing, you know, I just wasn't into. I just needed a break from sports altogether, right?
Okay.
Then I had kids. And you know, they grew up with the Patriots, playing Madden, the Patriots, and then the Patriots turned into the Red Sox, so it just became something that, you know, watching everything with the kids became something we always just did together.
And your boys are also Red Sox fans?
No, they're the ones they're all Boston. They're all Boston fans, and they're the ones who spun me into, you know. So I watch it with them. I wouldn't say I'm I know baseball pretty good. I wouldn't say my son watches every single Red Sox game, you know, but I want to say I watch them. I enjoy them. They drive me mad because they're just not a smart team, you know. And Bellinger,
Gino, can I offer you to come back to the Evil Empire? I mean, you're in the Bronx. It'll work out.
Listen to me. You want to know why? I used to be a Yankee fan when I was 10 years old.
Okay.
12 years old. You want to know why I left them?
I'd like to know.
Right? Yeah. Well, back in '78, there was this shortstop. No, he was pretty famous for doing something. My favorite player. And Bucky Dent, the following year, they brought in Roy Smalley. And Bucky started platooning, and the next thing you know, he was out. So I was a 10, 11-year-old kid. I was like heartbroken. You know,
wow.
That's like if you were a kid and they traded Bobby Mercer. You would have been heartbroken, right?
I was. That was my favorite player. I was crushed, but I didn't give up on the Yankees, so I'm surprised it affected you that much.
Yeah, you know, things changed. I got older. I went to college. I was playing so much sports. I wasn't watching as much, and you know, so I really got into it when I really got back into everything.
All right, so Gino, I'm going to make you this offer. All right, if I can get you to the dark side, I'll get you tickets to a game next year.
You know, it's funny. My son actually went to Bosco. Right?
Okay.
Bosco.
Yep.
Really, he's a really good baseball player. But his one of his guys at the school got him what are they called? The Legends seats or whatever.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I'm watching a game and he's sitting right behind home plate, first row.
And that didn't sway him, huh? Because the Legends are pretty neat seats.
No, they're unbelievable. No, he has a great time. You know, he goes a couple times a year to the game, but no, I mean, listen, he's a big, real big Sox fan. Big, like,
well, you know, Gino, I'll tell you what, you sound fun. You're more than welcome to call anytime you like, and the ticket offer stands for next year. If I could bring you to the Evil Empire, 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Rico in Buffalo. Rico.
Oh, my God, Gino, cry in your soup. This is Yankee Day. Michael, what a wonderful, wonderful day yesterday was for the Yankees. You know, Michael, I played the game to a good level. In 1975, I was drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers at 17 years old, so I know the game, and I know it well. Just watching old school baseball last night was thrilling. To me, anyway. I just, you know, and when David Cohn made the comment, when a pitcher came out to pitch the 8th inning and the fans did a standing ovation, and he said, there you go. People are starving for old school baseball. I truly believe that. Today is not a day to hear about the New York Mets or Boston Crybabies. Michael, there's only one thing that could have been better last night.
What's
and
that?
that would have been if you and Paul O'Neill were calling the play-by-play. That's all I got for you, buddy.
Well,
You're the
thank
greatest.
You, thank you, Rico. I appreciate that. Yeah, there was definitely some envy there, but that's the rules of engagement. When you're a local television baseball broadcaster, when the games become the most important, you do pre and post game shows. Let's go to Janine in Polonia. Janine.
Hi, Michael.
Hello,
love
Janine.
the show.
Thanks.
Absolutely. I could not wait to listen today. Basically, I just wanted to say, I just going back to that comment that you made earlier about a lot of the fans that would say, like, they're out and they're not watching anymore, and I hope that they lose. I probably watch or listen to 140, 150 games a year. And when I sit in my living room, texting my friends, watching the game, and they lose a game because they played such bad fundamental baseball, I would say, that's it. I'm not watching. I'm done. And where was I the next day? In my living room, watching the game or listening on the radio. So I think a lot of fans say that because you just get so aggravated. But I really think that true fans will always come back.
Yeah, I'm just curious, Janine, of the ones that because when they were 20 and 31, believe me, I announced those games. They were dreadful. They were playing terrible, terrible baseball, as bad as any team in the game. And I'm sure it gets frustrating. But what I always say, and this is true, when you become a fan of a team, that doesn't mean that you're just a fan of the team when they win and then when they're playing well. There's heartbreak that goes along with it. You have to be a fan even when they're terrible. That's what being a fan's about. So when they hit the skids, you go, that's it, I'm done. If that's just you letting off steam, that's okay. But I saw it over a long period. I'm not watching this team anymore. They're not taking my money anymore. I'm sorry. It is not a passport to only greatness. Because the fun of being a fan is that you go through the hard times, and then when something like last night happens, that you just feel this elation because you did suffer. See, when I was growing up, I started rooting for the Yankees when they were bad. So when I got to be 16 years old or 15 years old in 1976, and they got to the World Series, it meant more to me because I suffered through the bad years, the Horace Clarke years, Jerry Kenney, Celerino Sanchez, Rich McKinney, Ron Bloomberg. I suffered through those years. I saw the team lose a lot. And then all of a sudden, Steinbrenner bought the team. They started turning things around, and I enjoyed it more. I didn't say, well, because they were bad, I'm going to go. So I actually started rooting for them when they were bad. That's what makes me feel that, my fandom as a kid was more legitimate. I mean, people that started rooting for the Yankees in 96, oh, great, you really suffered, didn't you? Oh, yeah, they lost to the Indians in 97. That was tough. And then they gave you 3 World Series in a row after that. People that are my age, I think they get it more. They understand more. Enjoy the journey. That's part of being a fan. So those that jumped off the train in June and July, you know what? You don't get to enjoy Schlitler as much as those that stayed on did. There's highs and lows. They are going to be bad sometime. But as I've said over and over and over again over the last month, they're the one team in this city that every single year you think you legitimately have a chance to win a World Series. Now, they haven't since 2009, but at the beginning of the year, every single year, you think they have a chance. And they do. Then things might fall apart, but they're built to have a chance to win every single year. Jets aren't. You think the Jets have a chance this year? Giants aren't. You think they have a chance? Nope. You think the Nets have a chance this year? Yeah, they might have a chance to win 15 games. You think the Islanders have a chance to win the Stanley Cup? Rangers might. Devils might. Knicks have a chance. But that's not every year. I mean, the Knicks gave you 20 years of misery before they started to turn things around under Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau. So you got to enjoy the bad times. Yeah, enjoy the bad times because that's part of what makes a good time so great. So if you suffer through the Marcus Stroman bad starts, well, don't you appreciate Cam Schlitler a little bit more? I mean, Marcus Stroman's out there grinding, trying to get people out with 89-mile-an-hour fastballs. And along comes Cam Schlitler, who fires a game for the ages, an elimination game against your arch rival. That's what it's all about, man. That's what makes it special. That's what makes it real. If you don't see that and you jumped off the train, again, if I was the conductor, I wouldn't allow you back. But I know you're all back. But I wonder about the ones that were rooting for the team to not make the playoffs because you had this thought that, well, they'll fire Boone and Cashman, which was not going to happen. Where are you now? Are you back on? Are you upset that they're winning because it only means more Boone and more Cashman? I wonder. That's the conundrum for me. So you think that if they didn't make the playoffs, that would elicit change. You'd be wrong. It wouldn't have. I think Brian Cashman's here as long as he wants. And they just signed Boone to a 2-year extension at the beginning of the year. He's here for at least 2 more years. So how do you feel? Do you feel upset that your devious plan is not playing out? Or are you now enjoying the fact, my team has a chance to go back to the World Series, maybe break this drought and win a World Series? You're out there listening. You're hearing me. You're watching me. Call in. Tell me what you think. The K Show right here on 880 ESPN New York.
Friday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, the Yankees are headed to the ALDS.
And they've won this Wild Card Series, advancing to the Division Series. They'll play the Blue Jays behind a phenomenal performance. Cam Schlitler dealing for the Yankees.
How confident are you in them going forward? And what will Jackson Dart do for an encore this weekend against the Saints? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At PC Richard & Son, we don't just sell you a TV. We show you the differences, explain all the features from all the top brands, and we deliver your new TV fast and free because we know that watching that big game is just as important as movie night with the family. During our 116th birthday sale, get up to $1,000 in additional savings when you combine purchases of select TVs, appliances, mattresses, and soundbars. Great service, great savings. It's kind of our thing. PC Richard & Son. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Ready to fire up your Saturdays? FanDuel has got a boost you don't want to miss. It's called Boostin' with the Boys, and it's given everyone a college football profit boost every single week. Here's how it goes. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. No opt-in gymnastics, no invite-only nonsense. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com/Peter to download the app. Check out the Boostin' with the Boys offer and get in on the action. Each week, they're giving everyone a profit boost to use on college football. Everyone gets the boost. We're talking real games, real teams, real Saturdays with an extra payout on the line. It's easy, it's fun, and it's only on FanDuel. 21 and over and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issues, non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Association on Aging in New York is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Older Americans Act, which funds vital programs for millions of older adults. Services include meals, transportation, home care, Medicare counseling, case management, and caregiver support. Today, people are uncertain whether some programs remain available. We can help. To learn more about these essential programs and how to keep them, visit our website at agingny.org. Sponsored by the Association on Aging in New York.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600-plus miles of range. Is it the driver behind the wheel? What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details. That's 562-314-4603.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, 1 p.m. tomorrow. This is Saturday, 1 p.m. Saturday. You know, Gary Myers has a football show every Saturday right here on ESPN New York. And his guest tomorrow, put this in your notes section or on your calendar tomorrow in the in your iPhone. Jackson Dart will be his guest. How about that? Gary Myers, his football show every Saturday during the football season, 1 p.m. Jackson Dart, the Giant quarterback, will be on the show. Love it, right? This is the place to be. This is the place to be. Let's go back to the phones. Tom in East Rutherford. Tom.
Hey, Michael, the place to be indeed. I don't know if I should call you Michael K. or John Anthony from Two for the Money because you've been so hot lately with your football picks. Man, oh, man, we've got to ride the hot hand.
I'm telling you, it's coming up. The 2-pick for sure, I'm telling you.
What a performance by Schlitler last night. I mean, absolutely epic throwback performance. And you mentioned the Yankee fans who hopped off the bandwagon a couple of 30, 40 games ago. We don't want you back. And I'll tell you what, I woke up today so happy that we got it done. All of my Red Sox fans and Mets fans were ready to absolutely pile on us today. I've had Sweet Caroline and that annoying Mets song, oh, my God, on repeat all day just listening. I can tell you that, Michael.
I'll tell you what, Tom.
Just to my point,
I'll let you finish your point. They were ready to pounce. Both fan bases, the Red Sox and the Mets, were ready to just eviscerate the Yankees and their fans. They were waiting for it.
Oh, absolutely. There was blood in the water, Michael. Sweet Caroline on repeat all day, like I said. Now, we crushed we all crushed the analytics department, rightfully so a lot of the times, the faceless names, we call them.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think, and we also crushed the fan base, the player development department. But, I mean, we have been they need a pat on the back today, Michael. Luis Gil, Volpe, Judge, Dominguez, Warren, Benaroz. I mean, they have been absolutely fantastic. Plus, you have the two guys, Lombard coming up next year. I can't say enough about the player development. I think the future looks very bright, and I'm just very happy to be a Yankee fan today.
It's funny you brought that up because I did mention that in passing in the first hour, and that's the narrative. Well, the Yankees don't develop players. Well, you look around the major leagues, there's a lot of players that were drafted by the Yankees. So a lot of the players the Yankees used to trade to bring in better players. But just off this roster, can you imagine what bad shape they'd be in if they did not develop Will Warren, if they did not develop Cam Schlitler? Luis Hill was developed by the Yankees. You could say they got him from the Marlins. They got him as a kid from the Marlins. He's in the Yankee minor league system for a while. What he's showing you, that's because of the Yankee development system. They drafted Cam Schlitler in the 7th round out of Northeastern. He threw 91.7 miles an hour. He was firing a ball at 101 yesterday in a winner-take-all game. Ben Rice is going to be your everyday first baseman next year. Austin Wells is your everyday catcher. Drafted and developed by the Yankees. And not first-rounders either. Anthony Volpe was a first-rounder. Been the starting shortstop for 3 years. You might not like him. Starting shortstop for 3 years. Jazz Chisholm Jr. Yankees seem like they have the formula on developing catchers. They sent Augustine Ramirez to the Marlins, a guy they developed and signed to the Marlins for Jazz Chisholm. Ryan McMahon, an unbelievable defender. Yankee minor leaguers sent to the Rockies to get Ryan McMahon. One of the greatest players of all time, that's not hyperbole, the right fielder, Aaron Judge, drafted and developed by the Yankees. That's a lot of homegrown players on a team. A lot. So when the narrative is, well, they don't develop people, they do. Well, they haven't developed a pitcher since Andy Pettitte. You're wrong. Luis Severino was developed by the Yankees. And now it's really kicking into gear. Warren, Schlitler, Clark Schmidt, Luis Hill. That's development. And they've got even what they consider better pitchers coming. So that's a narrative that really has to go away. It really does. Rob in New London. Rob.
Michael, good to talk to you today. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing real well, thank you. Look, I just want to say one thing that is based in reality, and that you are much better looking than Don LaGreca. I just want to let you know that, okay?
That's true.
So, look, I really real quick, random note, that Derek Jeter play back in the day when he jumped in the stands against the Boston Red Sox, I actually heard that game. I was out in the middle of the Atlantic at Periscope depth, and I picked that game up on an HF band, and I was able to listen to it. So that's crazy, isn't it?
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, so anyway, look, 1985, the Yankees, and I remember this because I was 10, and it still upsets me. We won 97 games, and we lost to Toronto by 2.5 games because we only played 151 games, and I'm still angry at that. So I hate Toronto even more than the Boston Red Sox, if you can believe that one. And I wanted your assessment, a true assessment on the Blue Jays, because I think they stink, and I think they're hitting. I don't think anybody on that team is any good, but I want your opinion on that.
I think Rob, you're way off base. They're an excellent team. And they're the type of team that gives the Yankees problems because they don't strike out and they put the ball in play. So they put pressure on the defense. And you think that all of the players stink? You think George Springer stinks? He's going to be top 6 in MVP voting this year. Alejandro Kirk is an unbelievable player. Vlad Guerrero is an unbelievable player. Addison Barger is an unbelievable player. Dalton Varsho is a great center fielder, great defensive center fielder. I don't know if they're going to be able to get Bo Bichette back. The guy finished second to Aaron Judge in the batting title. They're not a bad team. I think their pitching might be a little shaky. Their bullpen might be a little shaky. Are they a great team? No. But I don't think there's a great team in the American League. I don't. Including the Yankees. They're not a great team either. They're teams with flaws. How can you say they're a terrible team when they finish first? They won the American League East. No, I disagree with you. Totally disagree with you. Thomas in Bronxville. Thomas.
Yes. Hi, Michael. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I have a question about, because I've noticed, in the last few years that the Yankees have had like difficulties in the Rogers Center and left and right and left and center. Have you noticed that?
In left and center. Okay.
Well, I could be wrong, but I have noticed that they've been a little shaky. And that was like a scout, Dominguez in left, which he's not deep. He's a shaky player. And
well, you're going to get
but
Grisham in center, and you're going to get Bellinger in left.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And I have one question, and I'm going to head off. What is one piece of advice? Because I'm finishing my last semester and going into sports media. What is one piece of advice that's been carried on from you for years into sports media?
Well, I mean, media is different than it used to be. So, my bit of advice, you get on the air or you make content wherever you can. Smallest radio station, podcast, whatever the case may be, you need repetition. Like the old Malcolm Gladwell book about 10,000 hours. If you put 10,000 hours into anything, then you're going to become proficient at it. So don't turn down anything. Go on the air whenever you can and work harder than anybody. Because I've always been a big believer there's not that much of a differentiation in talent among most people. I mean, there's outliers like Bob Costas, but most people have the same amount of talent or close, and the ones that work the hardest and that don't punch a clock and they're willing to go the extra mile, those are the ones that get noticed, and those are the ones that end up getting promoted and getting more airtime. That would be my recommendation to any young kid. And, it's not just about terrestrial radio anymore. Sirius XM radio. There's a lot of channels. Podcast. Everybody becomes a broadcaster now. So there's opportunities for you to get repetition. You need repetition. Let's go to Adrian in Jersey City. Adrian.
Hi, Mike. First time, long time.
Welcome aboard.
So I just wanted to say, watching the game last night, it will always reaffirm this idea to me that baseball is the most cinematic sport. The crowd, the pacing of it, you could write a movie on most of these, historical baseball games. For me, the moment that I absolutely loved is that moment after Schlitler gets out of the seventh inning. You could see Boone look at his coaches and say, hey, he's throwing strikes. He looks right at Schlitler and goes, you're coming back in. Put that right in Yankeeography. That is beautiful.
No, it was definitely storybook. Whether it's a movie or not, it was storybook. I really, truly believe that. That's a game that people will remember for a long time. And it will be remembered even more if the Yankees go on to win the World Series. Because this kid pitched a game that could have ended their season. And instead, he made their season continue. Next up is Toronto, starting tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So it had everything. It had drama. It had storylines. Kid grew up as a Yankee fan, as a Red Sox fan. His friends were Red Sox fans. His parents were Red Sox fans. We've had Jared Carabas on our show, and I like him. I think he's a talented young man, and he does a lot of stuff with Nesson, and big Red Sox fan. And he questioned that Schlittler's parents would actually now be Yankee fans of being Red Sox. He said, that's impossible. How could you be a Red Sox fan and then become a Yankee fan? Well, here's how, Jared. Your son could be a Yankee. Blood is thicker than your team's allegiance. I'm the Yankee announcer for 34 years. If 12 years from now, when my son's 22, he's pitching for the Red Sox, I'm going to root for the Red Sox. Period. How would you stay rooting for the team when your son's on another team? Only my lunatic friend, Dave Rothenberg, said that he would remain a Giant fan even if his son was a Cowboy quarterback. I think that's just absolutely for attention and for the reaction that it gets. But you could be the biggest fan of anything, and if your son or daughter goes to a team that's not the part of your fan base, you're going to root for them. Your children come first. So Cam Schlittler's mom and dad are Yankee fans. They were on the field yesterday with Yankee shirts on. Of course they are. Of course they are. How could they not be? If they weren't Yankee fans and remain rooting for the Red Sox while their son's on the mound, They should have their parent card taken away. You kids are first over any silly fandom. Okay, so they rooted for the Red Sox their whole life. Their son's now a Yankee. You root for him to vanquish the Red Sox. That's not that hard to understand. It can't be that hard to understand. And if it is, you've probably never had a kid. But I still don't think you get a get-out-of-jail-free card, even if you don't have a kid. I mean, just common sense. A relative of yours that you like is pitching for the team that you used to root against. Guess what? You're now going to root for them. Hey, reminder for everyone playing ESPN New York Survivor, make your pick before Sunday's 1 o'clock games to stay in the running for the $5,000 grand prize. After 4 weeks, we've lost 53% of players, including Don LaGreca, Chris Carlin, and most recently, Alan Hahn. I'm not on that list. I'm still alive. Follow along on the ESPN New York app, powered by SplashSports.com. We'll come back. It's time for two-pack for sure, and we'll also talk the Giants and the Jet games as well. They are not part of my picks, but I've been 4-0 in the last 2 weeks, giving money away to you, the people I love, my co-host, right here on ESPN New York.
Tomorrow at 1 p.m., Giants quarterback Jackson Dart joins Gary Myers on the Saturday Huddle as he gets ready for his second NFL start right here on ESPN New York.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Health surprises can change your life in an instant. You've seen it happen to others, but it doesn't have to be your story. At Princeton Longevity Center, we customize actionable and proactive health plans to maximize your lifespan and take control of your health. Our Cancer Check program combines cutting-edge technology with top medical expertise to keep you ahead of potential risks. With advanced full-body imaging, genetic testing, and multi-cancer detection blood tests, we look for even the earliest signs of problems. Results are analyzed by expert physicians who craft a personalized plan to safeguard your future. You're not just a patient, you're a partner in your health journey, backed by a team committed to helping you live longer, healthier, and more vibrantly. Our programs have saved hundreds of lives and empowered countless others to take control of their health. Be proactive with your health for the ultimate peace of mind. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back. I'm injury attorney John Ryan D'Agostino, nicknamed The Closer, continuing D'Agostino & Associates' legacy of helping the injured for over 35 years. My father, John D'Agostino, built this injury firm to help accident victims.
This is John D'Agostino, and this is a family firm. For us, it's about doing what's right and making sure somebody pays for your pain. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-BITE-BACK.
They call me The Closer because big or small, in court or out, I'm fighting to get the job done, to win, to get you every dollar you deserve.
D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and will come to you. I've been there and I'll be there for you. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service. Guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Oh, yeah, you know the music, right? It's time for two-pack for sure. I give you two picks for sure. 2-0 the last 2 weeks, so 4-0 over the last 2 weeks. Giving you money, printing money for you. Here are the picks. Here they are, everybody. Bills are hosting the Patriots. Patriots 8.5-point underdogs. Patriots feeling good about things because they've won a couple of games. They're not winning this one. I don't even think the number's that high. I think the Bills blow the Patriots out. I think they win by about 2 touchdowns. Give me the Bills. I'll give the 8.5 to the Patriots. Give me. I don't care. Do it. Then we got the Jaguars, strangely only a 3-point underdog at home against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have turned a corner. I think they found a short game for Patrick Mahomes to take advantage of his elusiveness. I'll take the Chiefs on the road. I'll give the 3. They win this game. And I think they win this game by 10. Jaguars are going to be better. Chiefs have to travel a long way. I get it. But that's my pick. Give me the Chiefs. I'll give the 3 in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. So the 2-pack for sure. Patriots. 8.5-point underdogs over the Bills. I'll take the Bills at home in Buffalo to blow out the Patriots. Chiefs on the road. 3-point favorites over the Jags. Give me the Chiefs. Another one I was looking at the Cardinals giving 8.5 over the Titans. I thought about that one. Titans are 3-18 against the spread in the past 21 games. This year they've lost by 8, 14, 19, and 26. And that game is in Arizona, so I really like the Cardinals, but I had to pick 2. But if I had 3, I would have taken the Cardinals. Yesterday, wild game. The 49ers gotten off to a great start. Rams, McVay took it on his shoulders, a bad call on 4th down rather than kicking the tying field goal in overtime. He went for the 4th down and didn't get it, and they ended up losing the game. And don't look now, another example of a quarterback who gets away from a bad situation. Mac Jones is under Kyle Shanahan's playing very, very well. People are saying, well, maybe he's going to take the job from Brock Purdy. He's not going to take the job from Brock Purdy. They just gave Brock Purdy a $265 million contract. Not at all. Giants playing the Saints. Giants getting 1.5, which is kind of odd. Chris Sims thought the Saints going to win the game because the Saints run well and Giants don't stop the run. But make me pick this game, I'm going to take the Giants, and I'll take the 1.5. That's in New Orleans. And the Cowboys at the Jets. Cowboys 2.5-point favorites against the Jets. And I'll tell you what, give me the Cowboys. Until the Jets do something and prove me, well, then that's the bottom line. I'm taking the Cowboys. Let's see them stop the Cowboys' offense. The Cowboys' defense not good, but how good is the Jet offense? Cowboys are going to put points up against the Jets. They just are. So that's my 2-pack for sure. Some football. We'll talk a little bit about it on Monday because, again, it's going to be a lot of Yankee stuff as the Yankees start their series against Toronto. Gausman will start. John Schneider just said that Bo Bichette is not going to be playing until he can play. He's not saving him for Kirk Gibson moment that might not come. He said when Bo Bichette is active, he's going to be able to play the whole game. And right now, they don't think that's going to happen. Remember, Bichette got hurt trying to score, and then he ran into the shin guards of Austin Wells and got hurt and has not played since. He did play after the rain delay, though, which was odd, and then couldn't get ready for the next game and has not played since. My buddy from Australia, Jarv from Oz, he corrected me. I keep saying that Heel came from Miami. He did not. Came from the Twins. Same thing applies, though. The Yankees developed him. And Michael King came from the Marlins, and the Yankees developed him. And Vasquez, the Yankees developed. And you know what? Higashioka, the Yankees developed. And the Yankees took those guys, and they turned him into one season of Juan Soto that got them to the World Series. That's why the narrative about they don't develop players is not right. Not right. And it's hard to get the superstars like the Bobby Witts of the world unless you get the number 1 or 2 pick. And the Yankees are never in a position to get the number 1 or 2 pick. They're just not. So it's hard to get that superstar that's going to burst upon the scene right away. But they make the most of their picks and they develop their players well. They should get credit for it. Game 1 tomorrow, 4 o'clock start means that Yes comes on the air at 3 with a pregame. Then after the last pitch, Yes comes back with a 90-minute postgame. I'm picking the Yankees in this series. I'm picking the Yankees in 4 games over Toronto. I'm sure that will make me even more popular in Toronto than I normally am. We don't know who's starting for the Yankees yet. Yankees have not met the media. John Schneider, their manager, has met the media, and he said that Kevin Gausman is starting for Toronto. That's what getting the bye does. You're allowed to set up your pitching. Now the Yankees are going to have to start their 4th best pitcher in the first game of a best-of-5. But if you don't get in as a division winner, you deserve some negative as a wild card. Don Hahn and Rosenberg coming up next. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you Monday at 1. For appliances, TVs, electronics, and mattresses, get to PC Richard & Son. Family owned and operated for 116 years.